Hey guys, Savage Warrior here, bringing you some Boom Beach, and today we're going to be switching gears, and instead of Warriors, we're going to bring Smokey Zookas to the show, bringing you today's event, Gearhart, with Zookas, and seeing how we do. This is my first attempt. I am boosted, and I found that Zookas are so much different than Warriors. Normally, on this kind of landing for Warriors, I would only need one smoke to get to that crate right there. With this, I needed actually 3 smokes, and we're going to move up there. And because I'm very new to this, I started a couple weeks ago. I just got blasted and lost 2 boats of Zookas right there. I'm going to try to see if I can make do, and flaring right up next to the laser gun right there, double smoke, so that way once I target to the HQ, when they spread, it'll be able to cover all the girls. Once you get up there, I think that this base today is pretty easy. I do throw down 4 shocks there. I don't think that you need 4 shocks, but I do cover that shock blaster just out of habit. I do think the Zookas hold up against shock blasters pretty well, but they don't do very good with lasers, as I've been experiencing. But anyway, I get this one taken down with just one attempt. I am boosted because I'm very new to all this Zooka stuff. Again, I started a couple weeks ago. I've been making a lot of mistakes, but I'm having a lot of fun because it's very interesting. They move very different than Warriors. Warriors tend to be really fast, and even if you make a little bit of mistake, usually if you think quick on your feet, you can recover. With Zookas, when you're moving your Zookas up there and you sneeze, it seems like the whole show just stops because they all get blasted. Right here, I'm going to bring you on the last couple of operation attacks that I did with my task force. This was 3 days ago. I soloed Machina, luckily. Right here is a lot of mines right here. I take 2 barrages and I carefully choose the location, throwing some critters down. I still have some mines laying around and clean them up with a little artillery. And so right here, I was so nervous because I wasn't sure how to land, and I didn't want my smoke to expire. So what I did is I flare right there to the corner like I did on Gearhart, and now I'm going to be lining up the Zookas very carefully, and right after about the 5th boat, I'm going to throw another smoke right here. That way it buys me a little time to get there. Over. Now I'm going to smoke right to the spot where I want to be standing, barely get my last boat through that smoke before it expires. Right now you can ease up a little bit because they're now walking in a very straight line, and now what I'm thinking here is getting ready for a double smoke, or actually on this one I just throw 1 smoke because it's right there in the middle and I should be able to land right there. Now I want to take a flare and direct it directly to the core, but actually as I did this, I forgot to do that. That was my intent. So mistakenly, I didn't flare, but it works out for me, which is something I wanted to talk about today. And it takes out those machine guns, which was actually very vital to this attack as well as others in the future. Now, notice carefully, if you throw that shock, you can land all those 6 rocket launchers up on the top. You have to be a little bit lucky and a little bit precise on that. But I managed to take that out, and I was pretty stressed out. This attack was actually 4 o'clock this morning. I set my alarm because I didn't want to miss the operation. I was double boosting today, which means that I will boost right the tail end of an operation, and then it'll carry over after the operation is complete to be able to use my boost, conserve that power powder for the next round. So that's what I'm going to show you next. This attack right here was nicely cleaned up by my teammates here. A lot of work was put into this base before I showed up. I was actually the last man to show this up, and I was getting messages on my phone. It says, "Savage, it's time to attack. You need to attack. We only got 40 minutes left." So I cruised in here, and I was glad to see that this base was really cleaned up for me, and even the attack before was really awesome, and he kind of showed me the line, so it made it a lot easier because I kind of knew where to flare and the timing on this. What's critical and hard about this is the back of the base, so you got to remember that the smokes and the flares that you throw are going to take a lot more time than they usually would if you were to do it at the front of the base. Right here, I cover a smoke right there. I take a risk. Usually you want to throw 2 smokes down, guys, actually. I throw only one, only because I saw the previous guy and kind of got my pacing of where I wanted to be. Anyway, you got to be careful on also the shocks on this, because there's so many rocket launchers. If you miss one of those, the whole show is over. So I managed to take this out. It looks pretty cool, but actually it was easier because I was guided by the good efforts of my teammates in this task force. So I thank them. So double boosted, I go in already boosted from the previous attacks. This was later this morning. And I take out Waterloo, and again, thanks to the team members, they did a lot of pre-work and sacrifices. Actually, this took 3 attacks before I got into this map. So earlier I mentioned a topic that I've been trying to figure out called troop target priority. That is, if your Zookas are unflared, which structure are they going to target first? What I found was, as somebody mentioned in the forums, that the troops tend to target either damaged structures or structures with the most health first. I'm still kind of testing that theory, so I don't know, and I'll talk about it more later. Anyway, right here, I make a mistake. When you get to this situation, you should double smoke. And if you don't do that, you're taking a lot of risk, and also risk to your task force. And obviously there's peaky little Zookas out there under that smoke, and they get blasted. And actually, if there were rocket launchers, it could have been a lot worse, actually. So when I was talking about target troop priorities, notice that I didn't flare, and it took out those mortars right there. Now what I think is, if there was a sniper tower standing right there, or even a shock launcher, the Zookas would have targeted those first. So it's something to keep in mind, and it's a strategy to use when you're using Zookas and you're smoking them through the middle of the screen, and you should be able to utilize that, and it works out pretty well. Anyway, I am learning these Zookas. I know this looks easy, but my task force made it look easy because it took 3 attacks before I made this one, as well as the previous one on Phobo, or whatever the name is. I hope you enjoy this. I'm going to bring back Warrior real soon. I'm not going to forget about my boys, but I hope to bring you some more Zooka, Smoky Zookas in the future. And until then, aloha.